And we also prepared some questions for you.
Okay.
Okay. 佑胜
Yeah. So yeah, here are our questions.
Okay.
I think we have seven pages in total. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so could you share with us the stories behind the name Lil Space? What kind of expectation do you have for that name? As a non-conventional and socially contributing company, how do you perceive success? The more well-known and far-reaching, the better. So the name Lil Space came about because when I started the company, I wanted a little space from my phone and from technology. So that's how the name kind of came up. I just kept saying, I need a little space. I need a little space. And then I'm like, oh, a little space. So that's how that came about. And yes, we are a social impact company because we do take digital wellness and digital well-being and kind of blend it together with raising money and social impact. And so success is I think two things. One would be the more that people use either Lil Space, the app, or they use the concept of taking time away from technology and using that as a mechanism to raise money or to bring in donations of material things. So for example, we have a program where if you count the minutes away from technology, in whether you use the app or whether you use a paper timer to count your minutes, so you say 30 minutes check, 30 minutes check, and then when you have 30 minutes, you send us that information at Lil Space, and then we donate 3 pairs of socks to people that are living in homeless shelters. So to me, success is more and more socks. Like we had a middle school, they did one of these campaigns and they were able to get 200 pairs of socks. So there was 2,000 minutes unplugged and 200 pairs of socks that were donated to a homeless shelter. So success would be more communities doing these kinds of campaigns and then more goods or money going to, people in need.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the process of setting up the company, did it involve crowdfunding or something like that?
Yes, I did. I did have to raise some money. A lot of it, to be honest, I self-funded. So it was my husband and my own money to kind of start. And then I had what you call like a friends and family round. So basically I asked my friends and family and I made a presentation and I said, we can help people, get a better relationship with technology. We can help people in need by doing these unplug-a-thons and unplug for a cause. So help me by not donating, but by lending me money. So they lent me money. And then I was able to hire software developers and marketing people. And then I also took out a small business loan. And in the United States, they have small business loans that you can borrow money for 5 years. It's different times, but I borrowed money for 5 years and I had to pay 0 interest, which was really, really nice. So I borrowed money from my friends and family. I borrowed money from the government, and I also used my own money.
Wow. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy, right?
No, it's not easy. And even now, like the company is it's only me. I only, and that's why, I know we spoke because I'm part of the nonprofit organization Unplug Collaborative. So what I've decided to do is really take Unplug for a Cause and Unplugathons and really bring that to the nonprofit organization. So even though Lil Space still exists as a company, and we, are the place where we keep the app going and we, do that kind of things. We don't have, like I don't have a team. I'm not really trying to grow the company. Honestly, it would be great if somebody came around and bought the company, but that's not, that probably is not going to happen. So we're just keeping the company going and hoping more and more schools and, groups will do Unplugathons through Unplug Collaborative.
Oh, right. Okay, next page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some more questions.
What specific guidance do you have for those who pay for your program? How can they lead more people to join the digital detox movement? Our project, like yours, will be conducted online. How do you create an interactive and warm community online? That is a big challenge. It's very difficult to communicate support and the warmth that you're talking about. Honestly, I do it one by one. I have communication, I'll get on a Zoom call with somebody who's going to start an Unplugathon, and I will walk them through setting up their Unplugathon. I'll answer their calls if they need. It takes a lot of time. That's why I don't really do it that much anymore. We did create like little videos that help people understand how to start their Unplugathon. We have a page of resources on the website that show you kind of, here's an email that you can use, here's a way to communicate. But honestly, I don't know that we've necessarily done such a great job to communicate that well on how to get started. I wish we did better with that.
Oh, since scale of the company, like you mentioned it's only you in the company, so
Yes.
like one person company.
Yes.
So scale is not that huge, so you can have the meeting with people.
Yes.
Easy, not so many people, right? So maybe if it gets better, it will be harder.
Yes. When it's scale, if more and more people did it, it would be impossible. And so I think, there are companies that are out there that I think do a good job with their marketing. They use language that's warm. They use graphic design that's warm. They have a very even if it's a computer, like they have a warm tone when they, like, when you go onto a computer and you need support and there's like a chat person, that chat has a very warm tone and is very helpful. So I think, when the company would grow, and if it was too many people, it was like too much, I would probably have, those chat bots that have a lot of support and make it so that the language was the right tone. You have to come up with the tone of your company, the culture of your company, and make sure that is shown in every touch point with your customers. So if that's a chat bot or if it's a personal interaction, you always want to make sure that your values and your culture is coming through in your marketing and the colors you choose. Everything needs to be very expressive of your culture of your company. Even if you're very big and you have, you can't really talk, one-on-one. But for me right now, I can still do it. There's not too many.
Right. Also, you mentioned Zoom meeting. Now, how do usually conduct a Zoom meeting? How do you separate? Do you separate it into different parts?
The Zoom meeting is usually just a conversation. And then we screen share and I go through the Challenger dashboard, which is the way that you can sign up and pay for the program. So I just walk the person through it. I just have a regular Zoom meeting and we make a calendar date and then we just walk through it together. So it's very informal.
So it's like just a promotion meeting.
Yeah, but most of the time they've already paid. So once they pay, then I say, okay, let me make an appointment. Then we get on. Let me see if you have any questions. Let me see if you want, more support. But like I said, we also have these little videos that explain how to do. They're little animated videos that are kind of fun and interesting.
Okay. And next page.
I have a question.
Okay, sure. We'll see.
Can we change into the next page? About the more people to join the digital detox movement. Out of curiosity, did there some separates of the age, like the teenagers join the digital detox movement just for teenagers? So this movement will more focus on CBT, something like some counseling therapy in this movement will be teaching some these skills, or they have another group, it's just for adults. Will they?
Yeah, I think that's so you mean when they do an unplugathon, is there different teams, you mean?
Yeah, I'm curious, will they be divided into two groups, one just for adults and another for teenagers?
Sometimes we've had there's probably about 10 schools that have done this and they all do it differently. So some do the whole school, some do competition between the grades. So like grade 9 versus grade 8. One school did the adults, like the teachers and the parents, and then they had the teenagers. But I like when they do that, when they, have like kind of competitions. And they see like who's gonna have more time unplugged, the adults or the teenagers. We did one time and the seniors, like in high school, the class that's going to leave, like the oldest kids, the oldest teenagers, they won. They did the most time. They unplugged the most. And I think when you have competition and when you also have the incentive, so the incentive is helping other people, so like either raising money for a cause or donating socks or donating food, when you know that your time away from technology is going to help someone who needs it, then you do it more and more. And so I think that helps lead people to be more conscious of their habits. And then we give the adults, the educators, some tools so that they can teach more about like healthy habits and why should you do this, what's the reason, here are some tips to do it at home. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, and so from during the team just for adults, you also teach them some skills for educate their children at their home, something like that?
A little bit, not too much. Mostly it's about your own behavior. So if you're an adult, it's like, you know, we talk to the adults about their habits, and we talk to the teenagers about their habits. We don't do too much with Little Space. We don't do too much with teaching parents how to talk to their children.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Wait. 2 more questions.
Okay. Have you have had collaborations with physical events such as setting an unplugged lounge at Sound My Music Festival? What advantages or benefits do you see in combining yourself with physical events? Your work with various charities to allow users to do something charitable without using their phones. Could you share with us the stories and experiences of working with these entities? Yeah, so we've done a few unplugged lounges, and basically that's just a way for people to experience give them ideas of what they can do when they're not on their devices and their phones. So we have in the lounge, sometimes we'll have, like, we had backgammon and board games and listening to music with like vinyl records. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, but like, you know, like the physical records. So no technology, just everything that you can do with your hands, with your mind. And then in terms of working with charities, what we do, like, for example, one of the activities is to decorate cards like that you will give to children that are in the hospital because they're sick. So you write, you know, get well, or have a good day, or you know, you draw a rainbow and you say someone loves you. So those were some activities that we did. Some activities are like you get an empty backpack and you fill it with school supplies, and then those backpacks are donated to an organization that helps children that don't have money, that they need school supplies. So you just find ways to use your hands when you don't have your phone to do things that will help other people. Those are a couple of things that we've done. And the lounges are just a way to do it in a physical space together so that you can, you know, feel connected and not alone. You know, that's really the message of Little Space, is this idea that you're not alone, that you can get your friends and family together and you can either, you know, raise money for an important cause, or you can do something, you can volunteer for a cause. So the physical spaces just help remind you you're not alone.
Since you have some how did you get the idea of replacing using phones with some hands-on activities? Like, is that because they both involve hands, or?
No, I think it's more my background is in working, like, volunteer for charities. And so when I first started being interested in doing Little Space, I thought, well, I really want to give people, I really want to remind people that there's more to life than being on your phone, and that the real world has so many opportunities. Yes, the phone and the smartphone can take you to a lot of places on the internet, and you can learn a lot of things on your phone. But there's no substitute for the feeling of being with another person in real life, doing something for someone else. It just makes you feel like there's something bigger than you. We're so small, like, compared to the whole universe, and you can be reminded of you know, how much we can help each other when you're together. So it had nothing to do with hands, because you can do things with your mind. You can, you know, paint, you can do exercise. We had in the unplugged lounges, we had yoga, we had meditation, we had a sound bath with earphones and stuff. So anything that's like doesn't require computers and screens, that we want to help people remember those activities in the lounge.
And next page. Oh, yeah. We have one more.
Okay. After looking at your website, we realized that your product seems to target schools. Why did you choose schools as your focus? What strategies have you employed to increase awareness among your potential clients? So I'm going to answer backwards. So the second part, the strategies that we've used to increase awareness really is my connection to Unplugged Collaborative. Because many schools come to Unplugged Collaborative for Global Day of Unplugging. So being involved in Global Day of Unplugging got us more people that were interested. And the reason why we picked schools is because we had learned that many teachers and parents were very frustrated with how their students and their children were using too much technology, and they were always on their phones. And we thought, what can we do to help those teenagers or families, young families with young children? And the best place to do that is school, because that's where they gather, and that's where they spend a lot of time, and that's where they get instruction from their instruction from their teacher, they get instruction from their parents. And it's almost like it's mandatory, because you can do it. You can tell like families, and you can say to parents, oh, do this in your home, but they don't have to do it. They can, but in school you get a grade, it's like it can be part of the program. So schools are a really effective way to reach a larger number of people, one school at a time. So that's why we pick schools.
Right. So for our project, we also target a school. Yeah, but we target the parents and students of that school, and our way is a little different. Yeah, I would say different. So I'm curious about you talk about the advantage of working with schools, and how about the disadvantage? What do you think?
Yes, there's definitely a disadvantage. First of all, there's a lot of programs. So schools have a lot of choices of ways for them to help their students with mental health, with digital well-being. So they have a lot of choices. And so it's very hard to be the one choice that they want. Schools also have very little money. Some schools, and they have very specific timeline for their spending. So they make decisions on what they're going to spend money on, maybe only one time a year. And if you miss that opportunity, then you can't ask them again. You have to wait till the whole next year. So schools, I think the structure of schools can be an advantage because you can reach more people, but the structure of schools can also be a disadvantage because it makes it hard for them to pick your product, pay for your product. Like it's bureaucratic, so there's a lot of layers of decisions. So you may have a student that wants to bring Lil Space to their school, but they have to ask their teacher, and their teacher has to ask the principal, and the principal has to ask the financial office, and it takes a long time. So that's the disadvantage.
Let's see. Yeah. And I think it's about the time.
Yes,
It's
definitely. Yeah. So another group that's like schools that we also work with are like a religious institution. So like churches, because they deal with young people, and they have a young people as big groups, but they don't necessarily have so much strict time that they need to make decisions on doing things. So they might be willing to try something a little faster. So churches is another good idea. Or like scouts. Do you guys have scouts? You know, like troops, like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. Do you have that in Taiwan?
Yes, we do.
Okay, that's another good group that's not a school.
Okay. And next page. I think we have finished the
Okay,
change. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah.
that's for
uh,
Unplugged Collaborative.
Yeah. So yeah. We do you mind taking a photo with us? Yeah, we have to
Oh yeah,
take
for
a
sure.
photo. Yeah, yeah. We can skip the questions, but but we have to take the photo.
Okay.
Okay, and 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right. Okay, well, it's great talking to you guys. I will send an email that explains how to be participating in Global Day of Unplugging, because it's Global Day of Unplugging for you guys would be very helpful. It helps you like get your you know, to promote your organization and your mission and any kind of programs that you're trying to get out there. It's a good way to do that. And usually the promotion starts in, you know, around December or January, and you can start, you know, coming up with ideas. So I'll send you an email, and if you want to have another meeting about it, we can set that time up.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk later, and I'll send you the recording.